Hello there, Gemini. This is Melissa with Enchanted Emerald bringing you your monthly reading for October 2021. As always, as I step into this reading, first and foremost, I use the traditional Rider-Waite deck for my readings. That's my go-to deck. If you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, please don't forget to hit that red subscribe button and the bell so that you're in the know of all of the new amazing content as it is released so you never miss a beat. Stepping into your energy here at Gemini, I do feel as though this is going to be a month for you to really be standing tall in your truth, stepping into your authority, and reaping the rewards as a result of that. So I love that so much for you. The 1st through the 9th here, we have the 7 of Pentacles, followed by the Queen of Pentacles, or excuse me, Queen of Cups. Should be the Queen of Pentacles because you are going to be realizing you're worth a lot more. Page of Pentacles with the 5 of Wands, a rounding of the week as we head toward the 9th, which, you know, is today, the King of Wands. And so really feeling as though this comes in with a lot of energy here that you might be feeling like the silence that you are experiencing or have been experiencing has been deafening, and you've been alone in your thoughts, feeling like you are frustrated. It's been maddening to really try to get others to see your worth. You know your worth, and you really want to prove to others your worth, and so you're looking for something out there, and you haven't quite put your finger on it, but you'll just know it when you come across it, is really what I'm feeling with that, okay? And it's a feeling like you're left, you know, bringing something to the table, but you haven't, like, been served what you deserve, right? And so it's like, it's almost like you're sitting at the table and you're smelling all of these wonderful aromas, but like what you see at the table isn't exactly what you want to eat and what you're feeling like you're smelling, right? And so it's a little bit like you're so much in love with everything, and you're in love with your life, and you're creating this life that you love, and you have so much loving energy to give and to offer to somebody. And so it's almost maddening that what's coming to you, what you're attracting to you, they just don't see that. They don't see your worth. And so I feel as though you feel like, man, I'm just desperate to get somebody in my life that would just be casually seeing what I offer. I just want somebody to recognize that I am, you know, valuable to them, that I am somebody who has a great quality to me. And it's not that you need that, right? I don't feel like, maybe desperate wasn't really the right word. Like, you feel really good about what you're doing with your life. You feel confident, and you bring that. You have this air about you, right? And so what I feel with this, especially with that King of Wands here, you know, this is you being your ultimate ruler in your life, your ultimate, like, authority figure. You have this ultimate authority in your life, and you're realizing that. It's like you are center stage, and it's like, now, okay, so all eyes on me then, and, you know, what is, you know, where is this Romeo or Juliet perhaps? And so that's where I'm feeling like I was shown an apple tree here with this, okay? And the apple, it literally falls from the tree and goes straight to the ground, okay? That's what Spirit showed me. And so what I feel with this is that an apple tree, it can be symbolic of wisdom, it can be symbolic of love, right? And as the apple falls straight to the ground, what I feel with that is like the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, right? It's like what you're being shown, or what's showing up for you, you're completely feeling like you're let down, right? That apple is like let down. That's what I feel like. You go straight to the ground, like let down. And so I feel like all of this is leading to the fact that there is you know, a decision that ultimately you have to make sure that your expectations are being met, and knowing that yes, I might be having this feeling like, gosh, this is frustrating, but your expectations will ultimately be the supreme rule, right? Like, they will never waver. You know exactly what you want, and so you can never be frustrated if you are ultimately getting what you want in the end. And so you're holding out for what you want. So just kind of look at it that way and understand that there's a great difference in terms of how you are presenting now in your life versus how you used to present. So then versus now. And just express gratitude for how far you've come. And as you are expressing gratitude, what that does is it will really help you to attract some really amazing things into your life as well. Moving into the 10th through the 16th, twos, right? New beginnings, really, really feel that. We have the Two of Swords with the Justice and Two of Pentacles. And so with this, I'm really feeling like you might be having to make a choice, really definitely seeing that with the twos, and you can see how they're juggling or feeling like that they have to make a choice and may not know all of the elements involved in what we're making a decision on, right, Gemini? But, you know, I feel like it's like the peak now. You're going to have to make a decision, and you're super excited about making this decision. And that it will bring a new beginning for you. I feel like you've waited a while for this, but what's happening is it's come in for you. Perhaps it's already actually come in for you, and you're starting to see that. You're starting to interact with this, and that's what's gotten you so excited to where you feel like, okay, maybe we're at the peak of this right now. And now you're just waiting for that letdown, kind of like the other side of the roller coaster where you go down the hill. And so be mindful of where you're putting your focus, because if you're always expecting that letdown, kind of like that fall from the tree that goes straight to the ground, if you're focusing on that of like, when is the shoe going to drop, that is going to ultimately happen, right? Because we start to attract those things. And so understand that whether you're manifesting, whether you're interacting with someone, whether you are trying to bring some really amazing opportunities into your life, what's showing up for you is not an exact science, right? What you're praying for, you know, setting your intentions for, it's not an exact science. Some of it is random that shows up, right? Because when we're manifesting, something will show up and it'll be like one thing that we asked for, and we'll be like, well, that's really great, but next time can you have this and this? And you know, we start to tweak things and add things, and as we grow our desires, we want different things over time. And so by the time that actually shows up after you manifest it, it might not be exactly what you want. And so understanding that and working with that, and working with the person maybe that you're working with in terms of your work setting, or working with the person that shows up for you that you have, you know, set your intentions for and want in your life, right? Whether you're dating or whatever. But I feel like what this comes down to here is it's a choice, right? There's a level of commitment that you need to go into this with, and I feel like there's an element of you getting what you want and then getting what you deserve. And so I feel like there's a time here for you to kind of take a step back and realize that some things you might have to compromise on, right? We won't always get everything that we want. And knowing, yes, we deserve really, really amazing things. But, you know, am I going to have $1 million? Probably not. So, like, understanding, yes, I feel like I deserve $1 million, and we all deserve $1 million, but we're not going to have that today, right, in this experience right now. So, I mean, or you could, right? You could. So, right, if that's what you're really focused on and you're manifesting, you could definitely bring that in, right? I'm not going to put any limitations on that. I'm thinking realistically as well, right? We've got to be practical. But there's a personal inventory that has to take place in terms of like what you feel internally and then what you're seeing externally. And so, is this what I want? Does this support me and what I need? Does this support who I'm trying to become and my goals and where I'm headed, what I have on my vision board, right? And then there is this level here as well of repeated cycles and patterns that I just wanted to bring up, right? Because I was shown a wheel from Spirit. And with this, it's more like a circle, right? No, the circle, it doesn't end. Excuse me. The circle doesn't end. The circle is a death and a rebirth. The circle is the repeated cycles that will continually happen in our lives, that will continually go over and over again. It could be like peeling an onion. Each layer is deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, right? And so as you go through this process with yourself, each person that comes into your life, each job setting that you're in, right? You do this inventory, whether you realize it or not, right? We have this subconscious thing that happens. It's never ending. The process of learning is never ending. And as you go through your life and you're living out your life, you have deeper wisdoms, deeper truths. Each time you go through these experiences, new lessons arise. And so, take for example this dating scene, say. Each time you interact and you tweak and you say, okay, this isn't exactly what I do want. And you say this, okay, I'll take this quality, this quality, this quality. And then somebody comes in and they might have all three of those qualities, but then a quality you really don't want. And so you have to be very specific. And then, so you're kind of like, it's a push and pull. But in that process, you learn about yourself. You learn about what you need and what you want and what's showing up for you. And maybe subconsciously what's showing up in terms of what you're attracting. Why am I attracting that? Why am I responding that way? Right? All of these things. And so it's a learning process for you throughout this whole thing as well. Moving into the 17th through the 23rd, we have the Knight of Wands and the Chariot. These two actually came out paired up together. And then we have the World and Temperance. So things coming full circle, definitely feel that. With the Knight of Wands and the Chariot, I feel as though you might be a little bit more established in terms of feeling settled in, moving forward, what direction you want to go, and maybe, less silence, right? And having, less anxiety about being caught up in your thoughts and things like that, being like out in an abandoned desert, but having more emotions, more watery emotions, having more conversations with others about those emotions, right? That could be a place and time that you're at. But just like a rookie, right? There's always a little bit of trickery. The word rookie come through, right? So feel as though you're going to be going through some new experiences. So keep an open heart, keep an open mind as you see things, okay? This trickery, with a rookie, it's this trickery that you learn in order to survive. Like a rookie at a game, the pitcher might be a rookie pitcher. Throw out a curveball to try to get somebody to strike out, right? So that's a trickery, right? But it's a way that you survive. And so whether you are evading the truth a bit with somebody in order to avoid having a conversation that's a little uncomfortable, whatever that looks like, just be mindful of that. Because if that's something that you're doing, or if that's something that someone in your social scene is, if you feel like there's somebody in your social scene that's doing that, that's probably happening, right? Just be mindful of those things. Feel as though there are things that, like conversations that will come up where you'll assume something to be true, but it isn't necessarily said. It will be like deducted out of a conversation. You'll be like, oh, okay. And then you'll just have this little thought to yourself and you'll just assume, oh, okay, this must be the way this person does that. Don't assume that, okay? I feel, again, that could be, a conversation you might be avoiding having because it makes you comfortable and you don't want them to be uncomfortable. Have that conversation, okay? It's going to be a little bit scary, but it's important in standing in your truth. It's important to the evolving of that relationship with that person. And so, this this overall is, a fresh start, the world, right? And allowing that fresh start, I do feel like it's a welcome fresh start, that you do feel like, yes, I want this. But again, with that Temperance card as well, there is a reminder here to just make sure that there are not things that are being hindered in terms of making this situation more of a priority than, say, your goals or your visions or things that you were working on before this came up for you, okay? And then moving into the 24th through the 31st, we have the Page of Cups, 7 of Wands came out in the reverse, and then we have the Empress as we head to Halloween. We have the Empress comes out with Knight of Cups and the 10 of Swords. So with this, I really feel as though there will be a need for you to kind of summarize things, okay, in terms of reiterating how you feel, reiterating what you need. This was very much a month of a relationship or newness, right? New job, new relationship, right? I feel that. And so maybe towards the end of the month, there might be a need for you to kind of just summarize within that relationship, summarize within that new job, what it is that you were intending, what it is that you feel has been met, what hasn't been met, what you feel like could still be worked on after you do that personal inventory, okay? So you might get to a point where you've been talking around things for a little bit and now it's time to actually just full on say what you need to say, okay? So this is really important for you to do because, again, going back to those cycles, this circle, right, that wheel there in that second week, we have that coming for you with that 10 of Swords, right? You have to be mindful that you've come a long way in terms of being in the limelight, being the ruler with that King of Wands of your life. You are ending cycles where people have kind of held you down. You're ending cycles where people have made decisions for you. You're ending cycles where people have been controlling in your life, right? And you are now, you've had the torch handed back to you and you're holding that torch. You are now holding that torch and being the light in your own life, being the one calling the shots, so to speak. And so it's important for you to call the shots, to be the leader. And so how does the leader act? A leader will take the lead. A leader will explain things, even if it's uncomfortable. A leader will stand in their own truth. And so even if you have to stand up for yourself and say, this is what is being met, this is what's not being met, this is what I expect, clearly state your expectations, even if it is uncomfortable, because you now have to stand up for yourself. You now have to be the leader. You now have to light the way for somebody else to be able to come in and be the person that you need. You have to show them the way and, explain to them sometimes, right? Sometimes they don't know if, you can set those boundaries and, it's a conversation. It just needs to happen sometimes. And so I really feel with that, it's like reserved seating, in your life. You don't just let anybody in your life feel like it's completely reserved seating in an auditorium, VIP only. And so with that, these people really need to be bringing the heat, stepping up to the plate, bringing their A game, okay? Now, with that 7 of Wands in reverse, I do feel as though there will be a lot of external pressures that you're feeling. You're going to feel a little bit weighed down, and you might question at some point, is this worth it? Now, understand that anything that is worth it is going to take a little bit of time to adjust and to, you know, definitely put some time and energy and effort into to get to the point where it's manageable, right? There's always an adjustment period when new things come in for us, right? And this is a transformation, right? With that ending of the cycles and bringing in this whole new way, this whole dynamic of how you interact. It's all new to you. So understanding that even though you need to have that conversation and you're going to do that very clearly, don't bring in to that conversation that feeling of, oh gosh, is this worth it? Why do I have to do this, right? Do that when you feel like it's a good time to do that and you feel prepared to do that, and mentally and emotionally clear your plate to do that. Because I do feel as though if you brought in that energy of like, I'm going to do this right now because I'm feeling like overwhelmed with this and I'm not sure it's for me, then you might have a tendency to make that person feel upset, because you might come off very cool and casual and very distant, and that for them might be the 10 of Swords, right? So that might be this. And so they might say, I'm not playing this game, right? So just be mindful of how you're interacting, but definitely make sure that you're standing in your truth. Overall advice here for you, Gemini, Ace of Cups, okay? And so with this, I do feel, you know, Spirit is saying, like, steer clear of controversy, okay? This is not the intention. You don't want that, but they're beautiful beginnings and wonderful emotions and, you know, things like that here for you. If you keep a generous, open heart, open mind with this, steer clear of limited beliefs, and definitely don't lower your standards to suit the situation, because this is something that you've wanted for a while, right? Make sure that you're being mindful of making sure that your expectations are being met and you're having those conversations to be sure that that's consistent as well. So beautiful read here for you, Gemini, as always. Not all general readings can resonate for everybody, but take what resonates and leave the rest. And if you're interested in your own personal reading, I'd love to be able to do that for you. You can hit me up at the Square site in the description box below, or if you're catching me on the Facebook, it will be pinned at the top of the page, or at enchantedemeraldny@gmail.com. As always, I will be back with another reading for you guys again soon. Thank you so much. Take care.